SADI-S Diva. My name is Amber, and today we are going to talk about why I spent New Year's in the ICU. So, it all started on Christmas Eve. For my family, my husband is really dewy and sentimental around the holidays, and he gets into that holly jolly spirit, and he cannot wait any longer than New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve is traditionally when my family and my kids do our Christmas and we open our presents and everything. So we had gotten up that morning and my kids tore into all their presents and were playing with all their stuff, and my husband and I were trying to put stuff together and figure out toys, you know, how it goes. And the afternoon rolled around and the mail guy had came. CVS Caremark is how I get my medicines. So they're always delivered to me in the mail. And my endocrinologist, she told me that the medicine that I was on for diabetes, that it wasn't really good for weight loss. So what happened is when I had my surgery, I was like bottoming out as far as blood sugar, so I had to quit all the insulins that I was on. And then the following week, I had to stop taking all my pills too because I was going too low, but then my body started to go back up again. And so I just kind of found stability with my blood sugars with just taking the pill. And my doctor told me, I can't remember exactly how she said it, but because of my weight, I was still seeing fluctuations in my blood sugars, even though I eat such low carb, like low sugar meals, that that would kind of taper off as I was losing more weight. But she felt like having me on glipizide was not the best option because it kind of acts like insulin, where insulin causes you to gain weight and hold on to like everything. So she wanted me to try something else that would help promote my weight loss more, called Jardiance. And so as soon as that got there, I started taking it because my doctor told me to stop taking the glipizide right away and just monitor my blood sugars while I waited for the new pill to get there, not worry about it too much. And it actually took 3 weeks for that medicine to get to me because the holidays and shipping, I guess everything was just really slow. So when it finally got there, I took one in the middle of the day right away. I was like, start taking them in the morning tomorrow and just carry on from there because I really wanted to get going on it because my sugars were a bit higher than what I wanted. They weren't terrible though, because again, the surgery really, really helps out with that because it just changes so much for your body. It's really overwhelming to even try to explain just how much it does. So yeah, so I started taking this new pill then, and Christmas went great. Christmas Day was great. That's usually another day that my husband gets off. I get off like 2 weeks during the Christmas holiday. So that is kind of our day that we just spend together as a family. We play with all the new board games. We play with our kids. We play video games with them that they got. Make Christmas dinner. That whole shebang. Next few days went by and I was starting to feel really tired over the weekend. But I just kind of chalked that up to my surgery because I even remember my aunt telling me before she left, when she came to visit me for surgery, she said, you're going to go through this period where, you know, you're going to be around 5 weeks and you're going to feel really tired again. And that's just the way that the surgery goes. So I kind of just figured, you know, it's the surgery. I'm just tired. It's going to be fine. And just keep soldiering on. So, normally, because my husband works so far away and he has to commute. He has been staying at his mother's house, who lives in the same town that he works in, for 2 nights a week. So he usually stays there Monday night and Tuesday night, and then comes home Wednesday evening. And so this particular weekend, because the kids had it off for school, or at least my son had it off, my husband decided that he was going to take our daughter with him, and that him and my daughter would stay at grandma's house, and my son and I would stay home, and we would get to have some mommy-son time. Because typically, because of my high-risk situation and everything, and with COVID, my family has been really highly quarantined. So my mother-in-law, my kid's grandmother, she actually teaches them for school. Well, she teaches my son. My daughter teaches herself because she's 16. Well, she's 16 now. Anyways, my daughter is the New Year's baby. So she just turned 16. And so every week, typically, my husband takes my son to his mother's house, and they stay there for those 3 days. And so I miss my son, so we were going to have a good old mommy-son time, and I had gotten the Lord of the Rings trilogy for Christmas because I wanted to share the Lord of the Rings movie with him because I am a really big nerd. And so that was our plan, was at night we were going to watch Lord of the Rings together, and we were going to snuggle, and he was going to get to have a sleepover in mommy's bed, and we were going to have a great time, right? So, like I had said, over the weekend, I was feeling really tired, and Monday rolled around, and man, I tell you what, taking care of my son's needs, like making sure that he was fed and everything was hunky-dory, and taking care of my kid was super duper hard. And I was like, man, this is just kicking my butt. The surgery is just really hitting me hard, and I just kept soldiering on. And around this time, I was getting really thirsty too. Like, I was drinking a lot of water, and I hadn't really paid attention to how much water I was drinking, but I knew I was drinking a lot, and I was also going to the bathroom a lot, and I didn't understand what was going on. And Tuesday morning rolled around, and I'm like barely making it. I'm barely getting my son's needs taken care of. In between that, he's like watching TV, and I'm like falling asleep. And I mean, my son is almost 7 years old, so he's not like destroying my house or anything, but this is supposed to be our special time, and I'm just having a really rough go of it. And I mean, we did watch The Lord of the Rings and everything, but I was just feeling really, really awful. And so it's Tuesday, and I'm thinking to myself, man, can't be the surgery. I must be sick. I am really sick. And I never get sick. Like, I know I'm diabetic, and they'll tell you get sick more often and you have a hard time healing and all this, but no, that's not me. I heal like friggin' Wolverine, and I am rarely ever sick. I think I puked. My husband says I puked once in the beginning of our marriage, but the last time that I remember vomiting, like not intentionally forcing myself to vomit, which I have done once, not because I don't have an eating disorder or anything, but it was when I found out that I had GERDs, and it wasn't really GERDs. I may have talked about that in a previous video. I found out when I had my surgery that I have gastroparesis, which is where your stomach doesn't digest food, so it literally sits in your stomach and rots because your stomach's paralyzed. And I was having these really bad pains, like I thought I had an ulcer. And my GP at the time told me that it was GERDs, which I don't think it was, but I forced myself to puke that time because it hurt. Like, it was such a horrible stabbing pain, and I thought that if I puked, that it would make me feel better. So I don't have an eating disorder, for the record. But anyway, so I never puke. I'm not a puker. Last time that I puked, not forcing myself, that I can remember was when I used to drink. So that was, 10 years ago. Anyway, so I'm thinking I'm just really sick. I haven't thrown up yet, though, by the way. I was just thinking I'm sick because I never really get sick. And so I fight through Tuesday night, and by this time I'm like paying more attention to exactly how much I'm drinking. And this here is a 64-ounce water bottle. Okay, love this thing. This is your daily dose of water, right? I was filling that 2-3 times a day. Not even joking. And the second that I would like take a drink of water and swallow it, my mouth would instantly just like parch. Like the Sahara Desert dry. My tongue felt like sandpaper. And you would think that I would, kind of catch on and be like, something's really wrong. But like it affected me in more ways than just that too. Like over the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, I had noticed that my balance was really bad. It was like I was drunk. Like I could barely walk. I would stumble and kind of have to brace myself. Like I'd get up to go to the bathroom and I'd have to like grab the dresser and my vanity and kind of like guide my way into the bathroom. Now, I also have had a lot of ear damage since I was really little. I had tubes multiple times. I had the right eardrum reconstructed. I am partially deaf. And that is why you guys can probably hear me so well, even though I don't have a microphone, because your girl is loud, okay? So, my balance is not great as is, but this was like drunk, I was way, way worse than normal, and not fun drunk either, like alcohol poisoning, sick drunk. That's how I'm feeling. And I'm pretty sharp, and I was just not very quick on the uptake. I was kind of confused. I was feeling dizzy, lightheaded, so tired, so incredibly thirsty, peeing a lot. And you would think those would be red flags too. But again, I'm diabetic, so I'm just thinking I'm peeing a lot. I haven't been peeing as much since I had surgery, but maybe it's just because I'm so thirsty. I'm just peeing a lot. And, like that soldier, I just keep powering through. I'm like, you're going to be okay, girl. Just keep pushing it, right? Go to sleep Tuesday. So, Wednesday morning, my son gets me up. He's hungry. He needs to eat. I get him taken care of. I lay back down. I'm grumpy at this point because I am not doing well. Unknown to me, I'm dying, but I don't know. I'm the kind of person that, I have pain and I do not vocalize or complain about pain or sickness unless it's really bad. Otherwise, I just keep it to myself and keep pushing through because what are you going to do, So, I am pushing through the day and I'm like, just thinking to myself, I'm like, dang, I'm really sick, but like more than really sick. At this point, I realize something's really wrong with me. And so about halfway through the day, I messaged my husband and I'm like, baby, I'm really sick. And this is just a text message, He messaged me back and he's like, do you want me to come home? And normally I would say no. I would say no. Do your job. Don't come home. Don't, for me, it's like, you're either an asset for a company or you're a liability. And if you have a lot of issues, then you're a liability, right? And so normally I would be like, no, don't come home. I'm fine. I'll be fine. But this is when we know something's seriously wrong, because the instant my husband says to me, in text message again, that he'll come home if I want him to, I break down in tears and I just start crying. And I'm like, yes, I messaged him back. I'm like, yes, please come home. I want you to come home. And so, of course, my husband, knowing me, is instantly concerned. He is like calling me, telling me that his boss is letting him go. He's got to pick up our son. He's coming home. What's wrong with you? Explain everything to me. And I told him, I was like, I'm just really, really tired and I can't drink enough. I was like, you don't understand. I've drank over 120 ounces of water a day and I just can't quench my thirst. I don't know what's going on. I'm peeing a lot. I am dizzy. I'm disoriented. I can't balance. I'm confused. I haven't been able to eat for days. I was so nauseous, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to remember everything because this was like 2 weeks ago now. And I've been having some issues with uploading lately. I'm struggling to get my computer to download the videos, and I'm just having issues. So I'm trying to get you guys caught up. Hopefully in this video we'll get you caught up. So it's going to be a long one. I apologize, but it's dramatic. So, yeah. I'm like, just everything is wrong right now. And I really need to come home. And so he drives home and he comes in and he sees me and he's like, you look sick, but he didn't think I looked that bad. I know this because the next day he was like, you look really bad. And so he's up all night because he's just so concerned about what's wrong with me, because I don't want to do anything. I don't care about the things I love. I don't care about the things I enjoy. I don't want to get up. I don't want to do my nails. I don't want to do my makeup. I don't want to watch TV. I don't want to play video games. I literally just want to lay in the same spot on my bed and not move. The only thing that is coaching me to get out of bed is my constant urge to pee. But aside from that, I would have laid in that bed till I died. And it's just crazy. I've never felt like I was knocking on heaven's door as hard as I once then. I would have done my surgery 10 times over than what I was going through. I would have given birth to more children, and I had C-sections with both of my kids. I've never felt so awful in my whole life. And so my husband stays up all night. He's trying to figure out what's wrong with me. We're just shooting in the dark. We don't know what's going on. About 4 a.m. rolls around. And I say to my husband, I'm sleeping off and on. So that's why I'm still having these conversations with him in the middle of the night, because I was just exhausted, tired. But I get up around 4 and I look at my husband and I say, that pill my endocrinologist gave me is new. I just started it. Maybe we should check the side effects.